I think you're going to want to watch this one, guys, especially if you have kids going away to college. This is an interesting one. I think if you're 18, 19, 20, this one's going to surprise you because we have someone getting a DUI without even driving the vehicle. Now, that's the headline, but we haven't seen this yet. We've got Kelly and Maurice with us. We're going to watch it. We're going to give you our updates. We're going to give you the good, the bad, everything we see here. And I have no doubt that you will also do the same in the comments. So let's dive into this video.
Hello, I'm Officer Proffer. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Hi.
Alright, so what's going on tonight? Were you fell asleep in here or what?
Yeah, honestly, just fell asleep.
Okay, have you been drinking?
Honestly?
Honestly?
No.
Okay, where'd you come from?
Lie to me.
Just came from a house party and we figured it was safer to sit here. We were dropped off. And I didn't feel comfortable driving, so we were sitting in my car.
Okay.
And I didn't want to drive.
Okay, do you guys both live here or?
I don't live here.
Okay,
I live
so
somewhere else.
how'd you get here?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
So how'd you get here?
We were dropped off by an Uber.
Okay, and you just got in your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car was sitting here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you guys been smoking weed at all too?
No, ma'am. Don't
Okay.
do drugs.
Alright.
Is somebody else in the backseat?
Knives or anything? Okay.
It's just White Claw.
Huh?
It's White Claw.
It's just White Claw.
Just
We just have 2 energy drinks open here,
Two
but they're
energy
already
drinks.
drinking.
This is a White Claw.
That is a monster.
A monster. I'm so
Oh my god.
And then this is White.
Alright.
I see that's White Claw. I saw
Oh,
you.
no, nobody back.
No, yeah.
Do me a favor, lift the quilt up for me. Put it on the. Ma'am, that's not the quilt.
The
Quilt right
Oh, the
there.
quilt. There's a
Put it on-
blanket.
put it on-
Is it a baby? Is it a blanket?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's some alcohol, I would say.
Is it?
Yeah. It looks like a...
Bud Light hard
pack.
seltzer?
Yeah, something.
Not familiar or anything.
Yeah. You're putting that up
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
It's either that or Topo Chico.
Yeah, those are good.
We don't have any open containers in the car.
Okay.
We just have a Celsius and a Monster. They're just
Yeah, I
energy
had
drinks.
that earlier. I worked.
We don't have anything open in the car.
Except that open 12-pack we
I
just
just
saw.
didn't want to
Yeah,
drive.
but the
It's
bottle-
complicated, so we're just sitting
12
in the
packs,
car.
definitely.
Okay, so you're both students. Okay. Did he get your IDs and stuff already?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't know where this is. Did you guys pick that up? No, I don't know. I don't know the state.
It's February and it seems pretty warm.
Down south, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely not
Yeah.
around here.
I wonder how the police knew that they were there. If somebody called it in or they were just like patrolling the parking lot.
Yeah, who knows? But like, just from what we saw thus far, like she took an Uber, she was responsible. Like, this is just BS. Like, leave
Stupid.
him alone. Yeah, leave him alone.
Oh, really?
I'm thinking leave him alone. Yeah, they took an Uber to get to. If the story checks out, they took an Uber. Okay, you're sitting in the car. You're not driving it. You're semi-responsible.
Sure.
What about actual physical control, though?
Let's talk about it.
I'm taking the lawyer hat off though. This
Yeah.
time. I'm
I
joining.
mean, they could start the car at any
Yeah.
time and drive away, though, and then
Could.
the officers are liable.
Yes. Well, hold on. Let's
Yeah.
put the lawyer hat on because people
Yeah.
watching at home probably
Yeah.
don't know or may not. First of all, let's
Yeah.
start from the beginning. Each state's going to be different, right? Well, that's why I was kind of like, where are we at? Because each state is going to have different laws on what you can get charged for with a DUI, right?
Right.
Especially when it comes to control of the vehicle. I know some states you have to be operating the motor vehicle, right? Here in Illinois, what is the law?
It's either like that you're actually driving or an actual physical control.
Mhm.
So basically, that means if you could like start the car at any time and drive away,
Even though you don't.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Even if you're not, if you could, there's a ton of case law that's really bad for the defense about a car being disabled, a car being broken down, a car missing a tire, being out of gas, and like the appellate court and Supreme Court basically said they could walk to a gas station, fill up the car. They could call a tow truck and have them fix the tire. You know, whatever the case may be. So if you could get in the car and drive away, that's enough.
Yep.
There's case law about people sleeping in the back seat like in a meadow and they threw their keys far away from them and that didn't matter
Yes.
because you could get up, get the keys, get in the car and drive away.
I can smell there too. Now, can I go off for a minute? Okay. I'm just
Let's go back.
So since they are parked here, can you still get them for? Because they're behind the wheel of the operating vehicle. All right.
This is a question a lot of people have about the fact that it's in like a private parking lot. They're not driving on a public highway.
Yep.
I think we talked about that in the last video we did.
Well, let's do it now. Does it matter that, again, we're going to operate under Illinois law? We don't even know what state this is. But does it matter that this is perhaps, I mean, I think it's a park, which is probably, it looks like a park to me, which is perhaps public. But does it matter anyways for purposes of charging someone with DUI?
Charging, no. Whether or not that person is will be found innocent or guilty, yes. But charging, no.
In terms of whether or not they're in a public or private property?
Yes, and I'm only saying that because obviously having been on both sides of the spectrum, I have seen officers charge individuals with DUI who were on private property.
Right.
And the charges were followed all the way through to a trial.
Yeah, you can
Tell
get a
me.
DUI if you're on private property, the actual crime of driving under the influence of alcohol, but either the officer wouldn't even try to suspend their driving privileges knowing that they were on private property and that they couldn't sustain their burden because they don't know how long they were here. They
Right.
had open alcohol in the car. They could
Right.
have been drinking and gotten intoxicated in the car on private property. Or they will try to suspend their license, and then we can make that argument in court and hopefully win.
Right. Yeah. Like perfect scenario. I had doing a PTR as a prosecutor. An individual drove sober to a bar, got out the bar, obviously was intoxicated, and was stopped by the police who were across the street.
Mm-hmm.
At no time was he
In
driving
his
the vehicle.
car.
After he left the bar. At no time was he driving that vehicle or
Yep.
anything like that. So a lot of these issues came up for the PTR. And then I had another one where he was on a regular McDonald's parking lot. His license didn't get suspended because the officer had no observations of the individual driving. Obviously, he's going to McDonald's. The defense attorney was amazing, by the way, had made the argument that obviously McDonald's doesn't serve alcohol, so there was no reasonable grounds to actually think that he consumed alcohol and was driving that vehicle while intoxicated.
That did kind of make me think of an interesting scenario, though. Like you said that your first hypothetical, they drove to the bar, got drunk at the bar. Say you're walking out of the bar, like keys in hand, and the officer stops you because they're patrolling that bar, patrolling across the street. I feel like you could be charged with a DUI then. You are in actual physical control.
Right.
If your car is
Yes.
in the parking lot, you
Yeah.
have the keys in your hand. You could even say, I am waiting for my Uber. Like I didn't even have the intention of driving. Technically, and I've never seen that
Yes.
in real life, but technically, right?
Right, yeah, it sucks.
So here's
Sucks.
one that just like kind of made my jaw drop. We represented this guy a couple years ago. He was from out of town. He was staying in a hotel. He parked his car in the hotel parking lot, brought all his shit up. He had like a work conference the next morning or something. And he, like most people, like I would do if I was out of town by myself, like, where's the nearest bar? I'm going to go have a couple drinks, right?
Without the kids for
Yeah, exactly, right. And so this guy, it was a small kind of rinky-dink hotel, and they didn't have a bar inside of the hotel. It was across the parking lot at a, strip mall type thing, right? So he goes, he does drink, he's walking back, across through the strip mall to his hotel or motel, and his toiletry bag is in the car.
Yes.
Unlocks his car, grabs the bag, boom, for whatever reason, the cops are watching him, stopped him, whatever. Guy never even attempted to start the car. And sure enough, they get him for DUI.
Yeah.
Even
And
though
he
his-
actually had the best of intentions. He
Yes.
walked to
Right.
and from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one where you're like, that's bullshit.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, this guy was never driving. And the officer never, in the police report or on video or anything, ever even claimed that he was driving. It is literally as I described it, which is, talk about a bullshit ticky-tack DUI. I think that one just makes the blood boil.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, what is your name again?
My name is Sophia.
Sophia? Okay. I'm gonna have you, if you don't mind, to step out of the vehicle and talk to me behind the car for a bit. Alright.
I'm really sorry. I didn't want to drive.
You can just stand right there, that's fine.
You're okay.
So for driving under the influence, all you have to be is you're in the driver's seat, so you're in control of an operating motor vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's still illegal to be sitting in the driver's seat with you drinking.
Okay.
So are you willing to participate in some standard field sobriety exercises for us?
Say no.
Do I have to?
I mean, it's up to you, it's your choice. But then if you don't, then we have to make a decision based on our evidence right now.
Then make a decision.
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19.
Oh, wow.
Zero tolerance.
Yep.
So yes, I mean you can either participate in the standard field sobriety exercises, or like I said, we just make our determination now upon speaking to you and our evidence, what we smell, what we see, and we can go from there, determine if we have enough to make an arrest or not.
I love the way that this officer just described it. It was very honest, and it kind of lays it out for the audience. And you just have to pause here and say, which is better for this girl? Like
100% not to do it. I was just thinking that, like, if this stopped right now and she's placed in handcuffs, she's super polite. I heard a little bit of slurred speech, but not a ton. She's answering her questions. She got out of the car fine. She is being very honest. I mean, obviously, if she's under 21, she admitted to drinking and you have the zero tolerance situation, but yeah, like she's only going to hurt herself by doing the fields right now.
This is totally manageable, is what we're saying. From DUI attorneys who've handled a lot of cases.
And, you know, because she is under 21, you're probably not going to win this DUI even if she stops right now, but you have way more negotiating power. You know, that she didn't do the fields and show a ton of indicators of impairment and blow, and we don't, blew super high.
Yep. People watch and think like it's not an on and off switch. Guilty of DUI, not guilty to. I mean, there is, although that's true, you can either be guilty or not guilty of DUI. It's a spectrum. There's reduced charges. There's sentencing that can be the maximum sentence, a minimum sentence. There's a ton of considerations that all get kind of put on the table and mixed around in terms of trying to sort out a case like this. And there's no doubt about it that she's in a better position the less evidence she gives.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you think about, too, this girl, she's 19 years old. She said she was in college. It seems like if you believe her that they did take an Uber here, she was trying to make a good decision, right? And maybe a prosecutor will look at this and seeing her demeanor, how polite she is, and like, I don't want to ruin this girl's life, you know?
Okay.
What are you thinking?
The former prosecutor says I don't believe
Okay. Yeah, no, I doubt they take that view, but
there are some reasonable,
there are
especially
some.
village prosecutors.
Sure. Yes. County, states, attorneys, it's prosecute this case all day, unfortunately. So they don't look at the the mitigating factors. That's a defense attorney's job. Their job is to prosecute under the law, unbiased. And unfortunately, if she does anything else, they're going to use all that against her.
They will.
I
That's for
agree.
sure.
Yeah.
That I agree with. Well, let's see what she decides to do.
Willing to try.
Okay. You're willing to participate in the standard field sobriety exercises?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and stand with your hands.
Now I
on your
hope she
side.
nails him.
Okay. I'm going to check your eyes, okay? All right. Do you have any medical conditions that could mimic impairment, diabetes, low blood sugar, anything like that? Where were you guys at before here?
We were at a house party.
Okay. Was that here on campus?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, and then you had Uber take you here, and you just had your car keys on you, so you got in the car.
Turned on the car for warmth.
And then sat in here.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you guys both live here, or just her?
She just lives here.
Okay.
Is she gonna get in trouble?
I'm not sure yet. I don't think so, because she's not. How old is she?
She's 19.
Okay.
Friend just snitched her out.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Y'all have to.
No, I was just sitting in her parking lot. It's not her fault.
So I'm going to check your eyes, so you don't have any glasses, contacts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Keep your head still, and you're going to follow this with your eyes only. Okay, do not move your head. Do you understand these instructions?
Yes, ma'am. Follow the pen.
Yes.
Ma'am, stand with your arms down by your side.
Sorry, it's really cold.
No, keep your head still. Okay. Look straight. Come over here.
University.
Come on with her eyes.
Dental.
The balance is good.
Sounds like a
Stand
chipmunk.
there with your feet arms on your side.
I think so far she seems pretty put together, at least compared to a lot of DUIs we've seen, especially
Yeah.
with a 19-year-old. So
Yeah, I mean, if she was 21 or over, it would be a totally different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she already admitted to drinking. The officer's going to say that she saw all 6 clues, which shows consumption, and just that you're done.
It's downhill from there, especially with the walk and turn in one leg.
Yeah, if
stand.
she shows any
It's
indicator of
downhill.
impairment here, I mean,
Yeah.
that together with the admission, I don't see how she can beat this.
I'm rooting for her, for one. Let's see.
Can you see this line in front of you?
Yes, ma'am. I can.
All right. Is it level?
Yes, ma'am.
Free of debris?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it dry?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to read you some instructions again. Keep your arms down at your side. All right. So put your left foot on the line and your right foot in front of it. with your right heel touching your toe. Okay, keep your arms down at your side. It's like this. Okay, and do not start until I tell you to do so, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you understand these instructions so far?
Can you call either Sergeant Holt?
When I tell you to begin, you're going to take 9 heel-to-toe steps on the line. Turn around, keeping 1 foot on the line, and return 9 heel-to-toe steps back.
So it'll be 18 total, like there and back.
Yeah, you're going to do 9 down.
She can do math. That's a good sign.
With the turn the middle of it.
I think the instruction phase says it
On the
all.
9th step,
Yeah.
Like if you can stand like that the whole time they're giving the instructions, that
Definitely.
is very difficult.
Definitely.
She's nailing it.
Yeah, it's true. Ask good, clarifying, normal questions.
Yeah.
Not like, wait a minute, can you tell me all that one more time?
keep that front foot on the line and turn by taking several small steps, like I just showed you. And while walking, you're going to watch your feet at all times. Keep arms down at your side. Count your steps out loud. Once you begin, do not stop until the test is or the exercise is completed. Okay? Do you understand these instructions?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, you may begin.
1, 2, 3,
Step up the line.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Get the turn right.
Yep.
Turn.
Yep.
Yep. Small steps. It
that
is so
okay?
confusing.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Keep going.
I don't think she really described it well either.
Raise his hands.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
She did do very well though.
She
Yeah.
did great.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean we've seen collectively thousands of DUIs, and that is pretty damn good.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good.
For
Again,
their
it's-
officer, yeah, they're gonna see, again in Illinois, the minimum they need.
Yep, there's clues.
And we saw him. She didn't touch heel to toe
Yep.
on every step. She stepped off the line. She used her arms for balance.
And that is enough for
you
them.
can be
And
ticking.
improper turn, I would say.
Yeah, that turn
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But
This is why we tell people not to do the test.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
she nailed it, and we could still show enough indicators of impairment to show that she didn't pass
yep,
Mm-hmm.
totally.
the test. And again, if she was over 21, I would say so far I would take the case to trial.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Keep your arms down at your side. We have one more exercise to do. Okay, I'm going to read you some instructions again, okay? You're going to stand with your heels together, arms down at your side, just like you've been doing. Yep, just keep your arms there. Okay, do not begin until I tell you to do so. Keep your arms down at your side.
It's so cold.
I know we're almost done. Do you understand these instructions so far?
Yeah.
Okay. When I tell you to, I want you to raise one leg, either leg, approximately 6 inches off the ground. It's going to be about the height of a soda can. Your foot's going to be pointed out. Your eyes are going to be looking on it. And keep both legs straight and keep your eyes on your elevated foot. Okay, while holding that position, count out loud 1001, 1002, 1003, and so forth until I tell you to stop. Okay?
Do you mind me asking how far I have to count?
Until I tell you to stop.
Do you know how long that'll be?
So it's going to look like this.
Do you know when that'll be?
By sunup.
Arms down
Yeah.
your side.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's gonna be
Just one of these
1001,
videos. I wish they had a gymnast who would
1002,
just do a handstand.
and so forth until I tell you to stop. Okay. If for some reason you put your foot down, simply pick it back up and begin where you left off. Okay.
Okay.
Do you understand these instructions so far?
Can I get an estimate? Like, is it gonna be a minute?
Just tell her it's
Until
30
I tell you to
seconds.
stop, okay.
Fine.
All right. Give me 1 second.
There's no reason why you couldn't tell her it's 30 seconds.
Okay. Keep your arms down at your side, feet together.
Yeah. Especially if she do I have to stand like this for 5 minutes?
Yep.
Bad start right there.
All right. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
She
All right, you
started
may begin.
Before she was instructed.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005.
Go, girl, you got this.
1006.
Come on.
1007, 1008, 1009, 1010, 1011, 1012, 1013.
Her leg's not bent.
Yeah, she's got that knee locked out too.
Yeah.
She's doing great.
2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 1021, 1022,
Okay. You
Super
can
clear.
stop.
2023.
She nailed that.
Yeah.
She did.
I mean, it's not
Like
perfect.
top 10 and not 2 through 9. Like that was amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
she only showed one indicator that I saw, which was starting before she was instructed
Yeah.
to do so, which is not enough.
No,
Right.
it's,
So she passed that test.
yes, she did.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
Stops are short to arrest her.
That
She
is
knew she was going to arrest her
infuriating.
for DUI when she asked her partner if she could before she even did the field.
Right. Yes. Good point.
You have anything sharp on you? Any knives, weapons? All right.
University of Central
Have
Florida.
you ever been arrested?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to the DUI center where we'll request a breath test from you,
Yes, ma'am.
and then from there you'll be going to the Orange County Jail.
Cool.
For DUI, but they can only hold you for I think it's 12 hours from like the time now, so you should be able to get out.
Oh my God.
I'll find out for sure. I think it's either 8 hours or 12 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
She has to sit in custody for 12 hours.
That's
They don't do that here. They just make sure you can't get your vehicle out for 12 hours
Right, yeah.
for safety purposes.
Yeah.
But you bond out typically right out of the station within a couple of hours after they process you. Poor girl. I feel
know.
bad for her.
I know, and again, not that we're trying to condone drinking and driving, but I believe her story. She's sitting there with her friend, not driving, literally not driving, and then still objectively does very well on those tests.
Yeah, this pisses me off.
Yeah.
She's at a friend's apartment. Let her go to a friend's apartment and just like routinely come check on the car.
Also, they're on
This is
campus.
trash.
Like, there's public
Yeah.
safety. She could have had her turn her keys into public safety or something
Yeah.
for 12 hours. They could have done something to make sure she
Yeah.
didn't get back in her car.
Yeah.
Like,
So let's explore that for a minute, because what you hear a lot, we hear a lot from officers, whatever, is like, I can't. I'm not a policy. I'm not allowed to. You're on camera. I got a camera. You got a camera. I don't. The officers act like they don't have discretion to do that. Do you, as a former officer, do you think that's true or no?
Hell no, it's not true.
Okay, tell
No.
me.
There's been plenty of times where discretion has been exercised. And I think it'd be great for our next topic too. There's actually a video of a police chief in Missouri who was stopped for DUI and got a ride home.
Yeah, I mean, right. I get it that there is some oversight. Certainly, that it is on video. It is a possibility that someone could get in the car after a police interaction and drive away and kill somebody or whatever. I understand how that's in the back of your mind. But what you're saying is they do have discretion. They could just simply say, go home.
Of course.
All right.
There's discretion.
Yeah.
I think that if the officer ensured that she couldn't get back in her car and
Exactly.
drive home for
Sure.
12 hours, therefore there's no liability on her, the police department, then this video would never even become public,
For sure.
right? Because the person would never get charged.
Sure. Yes, but let me take another angle of attack on this. I get it that she's under 21 and, I don't know Florida laws, but being that she's under 21, it's kind of a sure thing that she may be getting at least ticketed or arrested, right? But let me take the angle that, say she was of legal drinking age. I would say not only did the officer have discretion to let her go, but had a legal obligation to let her go, because I don't think they have enough probable cause to make a DUI arrest if she was of legal drinking age.
I agree.
I agree with you. I think, though, that like if we were in court and filed a motion to suppress, we'd lose.
Maybe, but I mean, I think it would be there would be merit to that motion.
Yeah, I don't think it would be frivolous.
For sure.
I just don't think we'd win.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Where do you live on campus?
I live right here.
Right frickin' here.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Search her wallet. You have gloves on? Well, you did, whatever. That she's pretty much admitted to it. She was using a fake ID or someone else's ID. So
Pretty much.
whatever you want to do, but
Ma'am, 1 second.
Go in your house.
Run!
I can see cannabis in clear view. I was wondering what she hid underneath.
Oh my God.
Over here to me, I'll show you what I'm looking at. There's a bag right there that looks like it has green leafy substance. You see?
come over here.
Come right here to me.
Where is it?
This
Is it behind the driver's seat?
Yeah.
Remember when I was asking
By the
you what
quilt.
you were hiding in me?
You got any questions? Are you good on the DUI thing?
Yeah, I mean, I almost didn't call it. She seemed way.
Yeah. I mean, I only saw the last one, but
Yeah.
Sarge, when I got here, he said she was probably gonna go. So
God, you got the devil's
I made
lettuce.
the right decision then.
I just got to figure out what I'm looking for. So there's see that bag right there? Sticking out of the seat? It almost says there's a green leafy substance at the very end of it.
Almost.
Could I be wrong?
Almost.
Textbook language,
To be
green
honest, I
leafy
can't
substance.
really
Yeah,
tell.
and almost.
Yeah.
He just said I can't really tell.
I know
Right.
when she was in the vehicle, she was reaching down and she was like either putting something underneath. There was like a
Furtive
towel.
movements.
She was like, it looked like she was hiding something. So I asked her
This
what she
is
was
the
hiding.
campus
and
police.
she's
I
like,
just
"Oh,
saw their
nothing, nothing."
badge.
And she was
for
moving stuff
their-
around.
Either way, you got a good search.
Explains
for
a lot.
furtive movement.
That explains a lot.
About weed in the car.
Like,
I swear.
No, let's just see
I
what it is.
recorded
Well,
everything against
we're just gonna go. I'm gonna go in there and just take that based on my suspicion. That's the only thing I'm gonna take. I'm not gonna search the car or anything like that right now.
I
Do
don't
you
do
have a key?
drugs. I never have.
Yeah. go ahead.
It's just based on the movements, so there might not be weed, but from what it looks like.
Okay,
So-
I promise you.
Okay, let us at least just find it if there is anything, and then we'll go from there.
I'm sorry.
And if we're right, we'll arrest you. If we're wrong, we won't.
Well, we're
Yeah.
not searching.
Probably.
She doesn't have the right to tell them they can or cannot search the car. It's not her car. What?
taking the friend too.
I swear.
The vehicle's not being searched. It was a
It was
furtive
plastic
movement.
That looked like
Furtive.
something.
Furtive.
In my experience, that looked like a baggie. And due to your furtive movements earlier, where it looked like you were hiding something underneath the towel, which I don't know if it was the
I
alcohol.
really wasn't trying to put a
I
towel.
get
was
it,
trying to put
okay.
the towel back where I found it.
I get it,
Because
but
it's not my towel, it's her towel.
there was alcohol in the vehicle. You know you're not supposed to be possessing that, all right? Because you're under the age of 18.
I do understand that, yeah.
Nothing in the car. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
great.
You can go inside your house.
There's not weed in the car.
What was it? What was the green leafy substance?
Oh, you motherfuckers. There's not even weed in the car.
Was it oregano?
Yeah.
Bag of seasoning in the car
Yeah.
for your late night pizza?
Yeah, exactly.
The popcorn kernel. Have I ever told you that
No.
story? Have I told that story on here before, Soldy? Want me to? So I went on a canoe camping trip with a bunch of dudes in Wisconsin. It was like 5 hours away from Chicago. And of course, the canoe tip, we lose our keys and everything. And so the next day, we have to drive all the way to Chicago, all the way back up, go get spare keys, bring the car back. Anyways, so it's all like a caravan that's doing this terrible, terrible drive for the second time in a weekend. And I'm driving now back to Chicago by myself, and I get pulled over for speeding. I was definitely speeding. And I get pulled over for speeding, and the cop says, I don't know, Wisconsin, God knows where, was like, we didn't see you speeding, but someone called in that you were speeding. And I'm like, oh, that's weird, whatever. I was not even in law school at this time. And
How fast were you speeding?
I was going fast. But they didn't see it, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, so they stop and they're hold on, and they get a canine, showed up like a few minutes later. What are you doing? And I tell them we lost the keys. You know, you smoke. I'm like, no, I didn't have anything in the car. I know I don't. I didn't even really smoke at the time. Still don't. And of course, they walk the dog around the car, and I'm sitting on the curb, and I'm like, you're not gonna find anything. Like, you're wasting my time. Like, let's go. And of course, the dog hits on something. I'm like, I know. I'm like, not 0% of me is worried that there's any weed in the car.
Right.
Which was a nice position to be in, right?
Yeah.
And this is a long time ago before weed was nearly as accepted as it is now. And they tossed my whole car. I was dating this girl at the time who was in like medical school, and she had a like promotional pen that was like a syringe, but it was literally a ballpoint pen.
Yeah.
And the cop's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, a pen, you know, it looks like a syringe, right?
Yeah.
It's promotionally. And he's like, I'm like, click the button. Like, it's a pen, right with it, you know? So I was an asshole for
Write
sure.
me the speeding ticket.
I
and
was
get me
such
on
a
my
jerk,
way, yeah.
exactly. And then they go like, oh, here it is. Here's why the dog hit. And I'm like, your dog, there's nothing, right? My dog's never been. I'm like, it is today, sir, you know? And they come and they pulled out literally what you can absolutely tell is a half pop popcorn kernel. And he's like, this is it. You know, this is what our dog hit on. I'm like, that's f***ing popcorn, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that is so obviously. I'll eat it. Well, like, let's eat it. It's
you tried.
popcorn.
It's all
Right.
I was such a jerk off to him. Like, well, you know, this isn't enough to charge you. I'm like, I know, it's not.
Yeah, 'cause
you know,
it's popcorn.
It's popcorn. And they're like, we're not going to give you a ticket today either. I'm like, okay, good. So they kept me for 45 minutes, whatever. My whole
Yeah.
car's tossed up. I drive home, and I'm all annoyed. Like 3 days later in the mail, they sent me a speeding ticket. Couldn't even give it to my face.
Yeah.
They mailed me a speeding ticket, which they never even witnessed. but it's like 5 hours away. This is before law school. Now I drive my ass right up there and fight that thing. But at the time, I just paid the $200 or whatever or something.
And that conviction is still on your
Yes, the conviction's there. Exactly right.
I see a green leafy substance in plain view. Well, it's not actually weed, but
You
if it were, you were almost in trouble, man.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway.
He
said, come back here!
Come back! A lady might say weed somewhere because you moved 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah, that just
I think she could beat that DUI on its merits because of her good performance on the field. This is one of those rare instances where the field sobriety test didn't hurt her, maybe helped her. What do you think?
If she was over 21, I would agree with you, but
Yes.
she is under 21, so
Right.
zero tolerance. She admitted to drinking. I mean, I'm assuming that the officer's going to testify that she saw consumption on the horizontal gaze nystagmus test.
Yeah.
Did she blow?
Yeah,
know
I
that
mean,
too?
again.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah. If she blew, right, exactly.
And like, if she did blow and she blew, obviously above zeros, but below 0.08, that kills you too.
Mhm. All right, guys, we got an update here. It says that this girl, 19, she's arrested, University of Central Florida, like we noticed there. Oh, it was the officer's first ever DUI arrest. Congratulations, officer. Kept another one off the street. Seriously, though, the only reason that this one doesn't annoy me is because she was sleeping it off and not driving. I would never say that if this girl was out on the road. So let's see. She does blow 0.099 088. So one of those is probably the preliminary breath test and then the breathalyzer back at the station. In either case, both of those are over the legal limit. So, yeah, I mean, they got her. They rung her up on the DUI despite her sleeping it off.
Yeah.
And then doing pretty well. All things being considered, she did pretty well on those field sobriety.
Yeah, she did. I don't even think the blow hurts her that much in negotiation. It's so close.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not egregious.
All right, let's talk about grades. Now, if you had to defend the 19-year-old girl in court, tell me what you did to help you, what you didn't. Let's give her a grade overall. Ladies first.
I'm going to give her a D just because she didn't do anything to help me in court.
Right.
She's under 21. There's zero tolerance, so she can't be drinking at all. Any admission hurt her. The fields hurt her. The breath hurt her. The only reason I'm not giving her an F is because she was super polite, cooperative. Everything was yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. I don't expect her to know, like, not to do the field sobriety test or that sitting in her car would mean that she could get a DUI.
Mhm.
So I give her some grace for that.
I'm struggling with this one. I want to give her a B.
Okay.
I hate the admissions. That's the only reason why she's not getting an A. She did amazing on the field, but the admissions just completely
Mhm.
gave them the ammunition they needed. So I'm giving her a B.
Yeah, and she blew at the end.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
Also, if she, again, like if she wasn't 21, she blew a .088 here in Illinois, you can argue that the breath machine is off by .015 negative or positive.
Mhm.
So if we couldn't make that argument, the judge could find that she was actually
For sure.
below a .08, but again, that only helps her if she was 21.
Yeah, zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Well, I'll split the difference. I'll go with a C. I mean, here, I would say it on this video, I don't want people to drink and drive. I really, really don't. But when somebody's in that situation, what do I want you to do? People do drink and people do have cars nearby or need to go from one place to another. What do? We want you to take an Uber. You did it. We want you to not get on the road where you can kill someone. She did it, right? So I'm going to grade her pretty high for those things. But she then gets that grade tanked by not following through, by sleeping in the car, having the alcohol in the car, having all these admissions, doing this freaking circus dance and blowing over the legal limit. It's going to tank even the best of intentions that she may have started with. So hopefully it's a learning experience for her. She doesn't catch another one of these and nobody's hurt, nobody's in an accident, and you move on, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right. How about this officer? We learned now after the fact that it is her first DUI arrest. How did she do, Kelly?
I don't necessarily agree with the outcome. But that being said, she does have a solid DUI investigation in the bag, especially for somebody that's under 21. So
Yep.
I'm going to give her a C. I do want to give her some grace if, she's new on the job. It's her first DUI investigation. She's honestly probably more fearful of using that discretion or maybe even knowing that she has it. So I don't think that the defendant has a defense at trial. So
Right.
because of that, I'm going to
Right.
give her a C.
Officer did her job.
Yeah.
F- for being no fun. No fun.
fun.
Yeah.
No
Weren't you in college
fun.
once, officer?
Right.
No, I'll give her a D plus.
Yeah.
I guess. I just think it was a BS stop. I think, yeah.
Let's
like-
qualify that though, and I'm
Yeah.
sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt your
No, that's
grade.
fine,
But
yeah.
if she was pulled over for speeding, would you still be as hard on the officer?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
She's parked in the parking lot. She
Right.
took an Uber. You heard the story.
Yeah.
I'm giving her a D plus.
Right.
But
I
I,
just-
want to give her an F.
I just want people viewing to
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from
yeah,
on that.
Yeah.
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 I agree. You got to give. You don't have to give, but we're us as bleeding heart defense attorneys.
Right.
We see plenty of idiots out there on the road who
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, I get it, man. This is a DUI.
Yeah.
Here, this girl's trying to do the right thing. I
Mm-hmm.
think. So, all right, I'm gonna agree with you too. She's got a DUI investigation that's kind of buttoned up and handed to her. So she does a fine job. She reads it off the card, does fine there. She's got it okay. But again, the breathalyzer is over the legal limit. If it had stopped only on those fields and if this girl was 21, this defendant's winning the case.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Also, too, your university campus. Like, what? I feel like managing underage drinkers is your number one responsibility.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
but isn't
like,
the
you
argument
can't be
that she
shocked
did it
by
here?
that.
Isn't the
Yes,
argument that they did
yes.
it?
But yeah, like Maurice said,
There's a
like,
reason
come
you're
on.
university policing. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, see, I'm not going that
Yeah,
far.
Oh,
throwing shade.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, we broke it down. You can get a DUI without even driving it. Driving under the influence does not require driving, apparently, at least in many, many states. So now you know why. It's something absolutely to be aware of. And this one kind of pulls at you a little bit more because we think even when you're trying to do the right thing, you can still get jammed up with criminal charges. So now you know, and be safe out there.